All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Victor Conte goes in on Ugas and Errol Spence and accuses them something suspicious must be going on with, well, really with Ugas. But both guys, if you want to say, is not seen to be one to take drug testing and stuff like that. And Victor Conte goes in on Ugas and a little bit on Errol Spence Jr. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel to get all your latest boxing news. With that being said, Victor Conte has some strong words to say on Twitter and stuff about, you guys know Victor Conte's like the manager of Snack and stuff like that. And Snack usually make like protein stuff, clean protein stuff, and and a lot of people used to test positive on Snack and stuff. Conte is just a guy that he just makes sure everybody's clean around different variety of sports and stuff like that. So, with that being said, here's what Victor Conte had to say on Twitter about this. Nobody seems to know if Vada is testing for Spence versus Ugas, in my opinion. This should be known publicly. I'm hoping Errol or Ugas or Tom will let boxing know either way. Thank you in advance for being transparent. Why the secrecy? So, I'm going to say this about Errol Spence Jr., okay? Errol Spence Jr. is in one of the most clean boxing. We know the WBC is suspicious, but apparently the WBC is a clean boxing organization. They do not let their fighters test positive. And I know the WBC is strict on black fighters as well. So, Errol Spence Jr. has been clean damn near his whole career, and he's been with the WBC, the World Boxing Council, and he's with one of the other ones, the IBF, one of the hardest sanctioned bodies to ever compete in, and they're very, very strict on using drugs and stuff like that, and they will strip you immediately if you test positive for a drug. And so Errol Spence Jr. is competing for two of the heaviest sanctioned bodies that will take your belt in a second if you test positive for a drug. We know how the WBA and stuff like that. So Errol Spence Jr. has been clean for 3 years, and there was a scenario a while back, I think a year ago, that everybody was saying that Errol Spence Jr., oh, look at his nipples seem to be big. Like, it was just so stupid. So let me continue this. So we go down on Twitter and stuff like that, and so he says Ugas works with a world-renowned PED supplier, memo of positive drugs. So he's basically saying Ugas, whoever Ugas worked with to do, I think his trainer or whatever or not, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, says that he works with the big supplier on PEDs and stuff. So let's continue to read. Please confirm for a credible source that there is Vada testing for Spence is Ugas. It would appreciate it. Thanks in advance. Then he also had to say, nobody seems to know if there is Vada testing for Spence versus Ugas, in my opinion. Wait, I just read that, so I got to go down. He says this: boxing scribes are afraid to ask promoters about drug testing. Should the boxing world not know if Spence and Ugas are being tested? Memo Guru Science is highly suspicious with Ugas. So he says that Ugas could be highly suspicious of using drugs and PEDs. We know that Ugas was in the WBC rankings for a short amount of time with the World Boxing Council clean boxing program with them. And Ugas has not tested positive, but Ugas is working with a guy that has multiple athletes test positive for drugs and stuff like that, and he's really suspicious about Ugas and stuff like that. And so we don't know. We don't know if these guys are going to roll. I know Errol Spence Jr. is probably going to recently come out about this statement that Victor Conte says. He's probably going to come out and say, look, I'll enroll in Vada test. I have no problem. So, and the fight is around the corner, so they better get this testing done before this fight can get canceled or whatever happens. So now he says, why do boxing scribes have not these fancy words to ask if the drug testing for Spence versus Ugas? Ask them boxing themselves. Why are they scribes afraid? Lack of accuracy, in my opinion, is pathetic. So he's really on Spence versus Ugas. Then he says, Ugas worked with Mimo and Guru Science, in my opinion. Ugas is highly suspect because Mimo has the longest history of positive drug testing. The fact of no drug testing has been announced for Errol Spence Jr. and you guys bring the dark cloud to boxing. So Victor Conte is on Yordenis Ugas. So he do not trust the guy that Yordenis Ugas is with. So who knows? Who knows why they're not Vada testing? Maybe Errol Spence Jr. is focused on camp. Who knows? But I know Errol Spence Jr. is a clean fighter. He never cheated a day in his life. And Yordenis Ugas hasn't cheated a day in his life. So hopefully these guys can do this damn testing so Victor Conte can get off them necks. Because Victor Conte likes to bust fighters in their ass when they do test positive. So, and people, then he says, I think Mimo Herrera may be hiding with Jake Paul PR or whatever or not. So he just goes on and other stuff like that. So that was it. So Victor Conte is very strict on this drug testing stuff. Let me guys know what you think. Do you think that there's some suspicions going on with Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas with the testing? I don't think not, because Errol Spence Jr. has been a clean fighter his whole career, and Yordenis Ugas is working with a high guy that Victor Conte is saying that distribute drugs to fighters or whoever. So let me know what you guys think on the whole situation. So I'm not going to keep this video long. With that being said, it looks like Victor Conte is on Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas for not enrolling in Vada testing. They need to be tested because the fight is around the corner, and Victor Conte is also highly suspicious of Yordenis Ugas. With that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.